Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 10. That's right, we got another bonus episode. Plus, we're also in ultra widescreen. Look at that, looks fancy. Look, I can look down 2 hallways at the same time. That's awesome. But anyways, for this episode, we don't have a goal in the quest book, but I was thinking it would be kind of funny if we could have Ivy be a All the Mods star block. What that means for us is this episode might actually be a little bit of a long one, like a 25-minute episode. But here's our goal. I've already created the recipe to create an All the Mods star block. This is all we need. We don't need all that much. The reason it's not so bad is because nearing the end, I realized, oh, maybe I'm going to want to create a block. And here we are now. So I was just creating a whole bunch of extra items whenever I created things manually to make a block. We need ender dragons. We need to increase our production of seeds. We need to increase our production of nether stars. We need to get a bunch of lightning runes. This isn't too hard, but is a little time consuming. And we need to infuse dragon's breath. That's it. Oh yeah, we need these portals, and these portals we need to enchant a specific way. But really that's like 6 different things that we need to take care of, and it's not that hard. The thing that we need most is to wait. We're gonna start there. I'm gonna start with the things that are the most time consuming. So I'm probably going to start with creating more essence. I'm going to redesign our mystical agriculture farm because I want to get this sooner rather than later, and we need 2 million redstone dust. Look at that. That's so much. Let's get to that. This probably sounds a little counterintuitive, but we're gonna need a warden to speed up our farms. So we need to do this first. Here's a warden. We'll wait for him to complete before we pick him up. I'm going to capture a few more. Right, should be good enough. I have laser bases here. I've put the warden on top of a stasis chamber, which I showed you just a second ago. Very similarly to how we got the wither, or how we trapped the wither, I should say. We will have a bucket of soul lava and then a thermal generator underneath. And we need to add laser drills. Right now I'm just going through and adding upgrades to these. Oh, I forgot that they take damage. I don't think it's a bad thing that they take damage. I just think we're going to need to heal them. Hold on. Don't hurt them anymore. Storage isn't full, but they don't die. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Does it still go up even when it takes damage? It does still go up. Well, I guess maybe this many laser drills is overkill then. Looks like we probably only just need 3 with these upgrades, that is. Alright, so I had to do a quick thing. I have a sewer here. It's kind of hard to tell. But there's a sewer here and a sewage composter, excuse me. Turning the sewage into, well, more sewage. I did add a range upgrade to this so that we can capture a few cows. And these are cows with no AI from a spawner. They won't move anywhere. The reason we want that is because we want to make some hydrophonic beds. So here's the first one. And this is what we're going to use to rapidly create the rest of the essence that we need. We need an okayish amount of Certus quartz. We need a decent amount of dirt and nether essence. But we need a ton of redstone. We can have this many hydrophonic beds. Let's make one more. We're going to put soul surge around each and every single one of them. Actually, let's do it on just one to start, to make sure this actually works. Okay, so we can tell that this is definitely working. I have the hydrophonic bed with the redstone seed here. You can see here we are crafting, or we're creating these essences pretty quickly. It's much more quick than any of these seeds are. So this is soul surged. So I think I'm going to continue with this. So hydrophonic bed is here. It is soul surged. There is nothing else underneath it because all the dire wire is going to be up here. And this is probably the worst case of it that we have ever seen on this series. My cable management right now is really bad. But we have cables underneath going to entangled blocks, ether gas here, water above, and then a transporter on the side to pull out all the items. This is good. This is good. Okay, this is now multiplied. Hopefully we will accomplish that before the end of this episode. We definitely are getting these a lot faster now. So the last thing to hope is that we don't run out of souls. If we need to add more of these, we can. This was very cheap and easy to do. So the next matter of business, I think, is this Ender Dragon data model. We need 18 Ender Dragon data models. That's a lot. The worst part is that they actually have to be self-aware. So just having regular ones isn't going to count. Or it's not going to be enough. I don't think we care about the egg. Alright, we've done this before. We can do it again. It immediately shot at me. Yeah, this isn't going to be very exciting, I think. So I'll just cut to the part where I have all the frameworks. I need to kill it twice. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so I have set up a whole bunch of loot fabricators and a bunch of simulation chambers. And we have our 18 Ender Dragon models. I'll go ahead and just throw one in each of these. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know that we care about the output. Maybe we don't care about the loot fabricators. Or we just void the output. Take whatever shortcuts we can. This right here is about to consume tons of power, by the way. More power than mostly anything else we've ever had. Alright, there we go. Oh, we're missing the prediction matrices. That's right. Per usual, here's a modular router. Hopefully we can pull from all the way over here. Nope, it's out of range. Guess I could add a range upgrade. They're not hard to make. We can pull now. This is now running. Hopefully these will become self-aware very soon. Next thing on my list is this Infused Dragon Breath. Instead of making the Enchanter and doing that, I'm going to make the Runic Enchanter. This is a pretty easy recipe. So easy that I already have it on AutoCraft. So if I request one of these, I may already have it somewhere, I don't know. I think I had already made it, but whatever. There it goes. Now it's processing. I don't like how it doesn't show anything up here, but it's fine. It'd be so cool if it would like do the effect of the actual ritual. Here's our Runic Enchanter. And oh no, this requires so many things. How big is it? Oh, it's pretty large. Maybe I'll put it on the other side then. As you can see, we temporarily have shaders off. What I figured out is one of the items we need for the multi-block is this Firebox casing. In order to craft it, we need refined Firestone, which is crafted with a cut Firestone and a raw Firestone. So we need 2 raw Firestones to get it. In order to find this, apparently you're supposed to be able to find it under lava. But when I go into the lava, at least with shaders on, like if I go shaders on, I can't see anything. But if I turn off shaders, I can see perfectly fine down here. So I am searching for this, and I will let you know if I see anything. It took a little while. We do have some Firestone ore here. Let me try mining this. Yeah, that's what I thought. That is actually kind of unfortunate. I have a bit of an idea, actually. Let's mine this with Silk Touch. Let's cover it up so that we don't destroy it again. There is Firestone ore. Alright, let me show you my idea. We didn't use a digital miner during our playthrough, and I'm okay with that. We do not really need to use it now. Can this stop spreading? What's going on? It makes me nervous. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a new filter, and we want to filter for this Firestone ore. Yep. And then we want to Silk Touch it. And we need upgrades for this. Okay, this is scaring me. Go away. Okay, I've added some filters here, and then if we start it, this thing should take some upgrades. Okay, well, no wonder why I struggled so much to find it, because I don't think it found anything. Digiminer will work, I'm pretty sure. The problem is that it won't work right here, because there's none. So we will move a little bit. Alright, I'm going to keep doing this. I'll let you know when I find a little bit more, because I do need a little bit more. Okay, here's a little bit more. How much is this? 5 blocks. So if I... What is spawning fire near me? If I start this up, yeah, it does mine it. Okay. The bad news there is that there's only 5 blocks around. We're back at base, but I kind of want to stay away a little bit because the fire effect is persisting. So if you hold Firestone in your hand, it lights up around you, which is a little annoying. We need to craft this multi-block. The crusher is 3x2x2. I think I have our crusher. This is a 3x2x2. That is definitely a multi-block. Where does this take power? Here? It's so fast how much it spreads fire. I was afraid I was going to set the base on fire. I guess this adventure was not as bad as I thought it would be. Or at least for this Firestone. Oh, it does still light stuff on fire. Well, with that, we should be able to make our 4 cut Firestones. So I'll hold one just to hold it. And apparently that was a bad idea. And here are those 4 Firebox casings I needed. Alright, I think I have everything I need. Let's go ahead and try to build it. We missed a quantum injector. Go ahead and build it. And no error in chat. Perfect. Oh, this looks so cool. It has like no upgrades here. But that's fine because all of our upgrades are going to go into the inputs at the top. I did not describe how I was going to automate this. I don't want any cables out here because it would look ugly. So instead what I've done is I've entangled these down here underneath all the other rituals. I've entangled each of those items. So here's the source input hatch. We are just directly putting source into it. And then we have the pattern provider pointing to a ingredient buffer, just like for the other two rituals. And then we can take the fluid input into the fluid input hatch, and then we can take the item input into the tiny item input. The item output just has a transporter into the pattern provider. This pattern provider is also locked, so crafting is locked until the result is returned. Let's request a infused dragon's breath. We should see, yeah, it does craft. Okay, that's a pretty decent amount of work just to get a ritual. It does look really cool though, this ritual. Request like 100 just for funsies. I finished one other automation before we wrap up for today. I have two simple clickers connected. I have a charge snowball in one, glass bottles on the other one. I have a piston pushing into this block with a spawner because the charge snowball causes fire and this removes the fire. Down here is just a spawner, creeper spawner. It's limited to just the one block, so range should just be the one. So we see a creeper spawn and then it gets bottle spammed and then the bottles go into here. So now I just need to leave this AFK. But if I try to craft this, all of the stuff that's left is just stuff that needs to run while AFK. So like the data model while AFK. This is almost done now. I'll probably turn that machine off because it is causing quite a bit of lag. Nether star, Certus quartz, redstone dust, nether essence, this source gem, those will all finish just as time passes. In addition to what we just did, I also had to add a few wither data models. As you can see, I just spawned a bunch and then I would just kill them over and over. I was able to get the models to superior without even making the hostile neural network things. In addition, I also added a few more hydrophonic beds. Okay, with that, it has been like 2 days. We can't make two, but we can definitely make the one. Yeah, we can totally craft the one. So I'll go ahead and start this recipe. Don't do that to me. If you ever encounter an issue similar where it's like telling you that it can't pull a specific ingredient, it's because you need to have more in your system. So what I like to do is I add it to a requester and just add like, in this case I'm going to add a bunch just because I know we're going to need a bunch. So now if I request my ATM star block, yep, there it goes. Starting the craft. This needs a ton of things and hopefully it will just finish. So this should finish for us. I guess I'll see you in half an hour when this finishes. Okay, it's been a while. I've had to go and manually create a few stars. Something in my system is kind of messed up. So I went and I created pretty much everything that isn't like large, so that we should be able to just go ahead and hit start here. And if we fly over to the Runic altar, we should see that, yeah, that it goes into processing. We should see the star block pop up here. Yeah, there it is. There is our all the mods star block. That is a big achievement. I was very lucky to have realized that maybe I wanted to create a block. So while making the all the mods star, like when I saw things that I felt like I would need multiple of, I just made multiples of it. Things like the crystal staff, I don't know if you remember, I just crafted 18. I just didn't care. But now we're here. And here is Ivy as an all the mods star block. Looking very cool. Actually, it does look pretty cool. Ivy is going outside. But with that, I think that wraps up our episode. Thank you all for watching our series. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye bye.